So I felt called to just sit down and get some ideas out there. And that's what I'm going to do here. So I'm obviously on a new journey of grief. We're all grieving in some ways. And so I really feel like it's time to shed more light on how we can genuinely step up. Because if you haven't had a loss, then you don't maybe know what to say, right? I've had some really great conversations, especially the last 2 days, with just incredible humans and just such clarity, right? Sometimes you don't know what to say. Sometimes you don't know what you can do. So I wanted to kind of see what comes through, kind of open myself up as a clear light channel in a way. But here are things that I've definitely learned in the last month. The question, how are you doing, is just, it's a terrible question. It's not authentic. You don't actually show, right? And this is for every day, not after big grief or something terrible. Just walking into, how you doing, right? That's like a normal response we have now. Blech. Let's get rid of it. Because we're so conditioned at this point to just say good. Or, you don't actually know if the person wants to know. So, I recently heard this and I absolutely love it. Instead, ask what's something you're excited about right now. Because you can be in a dark place. You can be searching for hope. You can be wherever you are. You can be really happy, right? The whole spectrum. And you might not be able to answer, how are you doing, right? The best I can, whatever that means. But you can answer, what's one thing I'm excited about right now? Like, and it's the first thing that comes up, right? It is an invitation to let your soul, your spirit speak. What are you excited about? That's how I feel. Soul to soul, we're speaking. So I would love for people to start doing that. I don't expect it to take off like wildfire, but it sure would be nice because does anyone actually like answering the how are you doing question? Okay. So as someone who has gone through grief, I look back on other friends that have gone through grief and how I didn't show up and how I wish I had known. And that's why I want to share. Not from a place of judgment, not from a place of anyone could have done something better or anything like that. It's just simply, I wish I would have known so that I could have been there. And it's become so clear from the feelings I've been feeling that I hope this helps. So it's a lovely gesture. It absolutely is. I know there is never any ill will in. If there's anything I can do, let me know. Like, yes, that's kind of like the how you doing of grief. Um, but in this process, having people reach out and be like, are you eating? Are you sleeping? Do you need help? Can I just come sit with the kids for an hour so you can just breathe? Can I come do your dishes? Those questions. If someone that you are close to is in grief or in a state of transition or in change, those questions, you're giving the person a yes or no question because it's so much easier. Because when you're in grief, when you're in a state of change, half the time you don't even know what you need. So then you're giving that person like, oh, I I should reflect on that. Like, am I eating okay? Well, no, grocery shopping's pretty hard right now. And so then you can show up that way, right? There's a reason that it's a traditional thing to like bring meals, right? But there are other ways if you don't want to show up that way that you can. Or, you know, that's just one idea. I wish I would have known that for anyone who has lost before I lost, because I absolutely would have gone over and done your dishes. Right? Um, so those are two big things that I think with my new awareness of grief, I would love the world to see. what are you excited about right now? Like how good, how much easier that brings you into a more relaxed, expansive state than contracted, even if you're not like picking up consciously on energies. And asking the yes or no questions, making it as simple as possible. Can I come over and walk your dog? Something that's just like, oh, like I don't have to put on a pretty face. I don't have to worry if I wash my hair in days, right? But those little things. And, if you are afar, right? If you're out of state, like you can still ask those questions. Like, are you able to? Is there someone I can call for you? Or however it may look, right? But give the person space to breathe and like just answer as simply as possible when it comes to authentically wanting to show up for someone, right? So they're kind of like opposites, right? How are you doing is too basic. It's not, how are you excited about anything? That just applies to any time. And then in the state of grief, not asking if there's anything. That's too broad. Let's ask the yes or no questions for those people going through that. I think that's all I wanted to share. But these last 2 days have just been very profound for me. I'm grateful for the amazing women I met with. Victoria, Christy, you are amazing. If there's a chance you watch this. And, you know, everyone's grief is going to look different. One thing I have noticed is you don't have to give someone space if they're not asking for it, right? Obviously, when there's death, there's a lot of things that need to be done. There's a chance that person is so overwhelmed they're not even like checking their phone, right? Give them space that way. But if the person's I know from my experience that I found like when people would say, take a week to like grieve. What's a week gonna do? Like, yes, that is part of the journey, but I'm now in a new relationship with grief. Doesn't mean I have to carry it for the rest of my life, but there are things that in the course of the next year, next 10 years, whatever it may be, that I'll still be adjusting to. And so now that I have had this significant, I'm like, a week doesn't really do anything. I've been grieving for 2 years. I've been finding what my relationship of giving up future moments with someone looks like. And a week, yes, you can absolutely, like, everyone will grieve their own way. If I'm gonna take days and like just, not get out of bed or whatever that looks like. That wasn't my journey. I actually wanted to jump back into things because that was how I was trying to like disassociate, numb, right? Reorganize my whole house because, keep moving. Your mind can't take over so much. But now that I've done that numbing. Like, yeah, that's what my week was. And everyone's job, of course, is different. But in all this, I'm not telling you how much time to take. I'm just saying, as an outsider looking in, saying take a week might be, it might be like you trying to extend or take, as much time as you need, whatever it is. You might be trying to extend, like, I'm here for you. I accept that. But know that it could actually be very triggering for someone for you to, because, right, everything in your body right now is out of whack. And you might be thinking, oh, they want me to be better in a week. Or you check in after a month. How you doing? Like, are you better? Maybe, but also who wants to answer that question? Who wants to say like, no, I'm good. Like I would like to do this I don't know. Those are just the big ahas I've had in the recent time and space that I wanted to share. Uh, and the most important thing I think is if you're carrying this weight of grief, of loss, of pain, confusion, I hope you can make space to find your clarity, your purpose, release the weight from your being so that you can be lighter, you can be more expanded. I know my body hurts, and that's okay. It's trying to readjust, but I'm also making time. I'm getting the work. I'm allowing others to hold space for me while I go through this. And I hope you can do that for yourself as well. Allow those you love to show you love. Allow yourself to feel love. And simply breathe.